The reason I'm much into human rights is because I have experienced sad moments. I was brutally arrested at Magere.
Why were you taken?
I'm from Ntungamo tried to help Uganda. The questions they were asking me was, why are you here? You think this is court?
They don't do it on the basis of you are a potential criminal or there's any reason. It is to say, it could be just that you are a lawyer and you're not supposed to help or aid Bobi Wine legally.
And they said, do you know we can kill you even now? And the country will move on.
This interrogation was happening in the drone or they took you?
No, I was in, they call it the Kavangadi. Put me inside their Kavangadi, those police trucks, and they forced me to eat about, I don't know how much tear gas I ate.
Like they would open the can?
Yeah.
And
put it in my mouth.
Put the tear gas in your mouth?
And they tell me, how does that one taste?
Welcome to yet another episode of the Agora podcast. My name is Mwezi Joshua Lowell, your everyday host. On this podcast, we talk about the political human rights situation in Uganda. And today I'm joined by a special guest. It's his birthday. I should point out that at the day and time of recording, he makes yet another year. He is a lawyer to Dr. Besigye, a lawyer to Sam Mugumya, and many of the political people have been at the receiving end of the political vitriol of the Ugandan state. He himself has been an active lawyer, political participant. I don't know if he's a politician or political participant, but he has also been a victim of the repression and suppression of human rights that has happened in Uganda. But before he talks about that, I would like you to introduce yourself if there's anything I've not talked about, but also to wish you a happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you so much for this special occasion and invitation to be part of this podcast. Kakuru Tumusiime is my name. I'm a human rights lawyer. I'm an activist. I'm a lawyer to Besigye. I'm a lawyer to Sam Mugumya. I'm a lawyer to National Unity Platform. I'm a lawyer to any person whose rights have been violated or are threatened to be violated. I'm happy that today is my birthday, me and Kato. We are now on the third floor. We are happy to be there, and we believe the third floor would give us some much expectation of where we need to be as a country. Thank you for seeing me.
And then thank you for creating time to be with us. One, I know that you're very busy, but also on such special days, people want to, have a joyous day and, sort of get out of this everyday work. But I think let's start from the basic for people to know you and understand you. There are various fields in law. It could be commercial, it could be space, but you decided to do human rights and not just the safer ones. You're dealing, the clients you just talked about, for the people you defend are the most sought out entities by the state. National Unity Platform, Dr. Besigye, Sam Mugumya. Why are you doing that kind of work?
Well, I do that kind of work because I believe those people need us more than we need them. Mm-hmm. It is easier for someone to go and battle his commercial issues in commercial court because they have money. But it is not easy and not safe for a person like Sam Mugumya who has been missing for about a year now to even get someone closer to defend them in court. Even the lawyers they know might fear to come out and defend Sam Mugumya. So those are the people who need us more than we need them. So it is my duty and calling to come up and show up for any person who is in danger for their rights. Someone phoned me at a commercial court. I happen to be having some patents. Yeah, I'm defending some. I'm representing some clients.
So you also do
on a patents issue that is intellectual property. So someone phoned me in my in my robes from a commercial court with a big file.
Yes, yes.
And he was like, now, which politician is here? So I was like, excuse me, do you think every time I'm in court for politicians? So that's how they brand me, but I do every kind of legal practice. What you guys normally see me in is the human rights work. But the reason I do it is because those people need the lawyers more than we need them. Yeah.
I know we're going to talk about Sam and Besigye's situation, but just a bit about the legal profession. You know, so there is this, when you're entering law school, there is this, everyone wants to fight for human rights.
Yeah.
But I think like first year, second year into law school, everyone say, this is about making money. Is there something special, maybe something that happened to you or something different about you that you stuck to? Because of course you're saying these people need us more than we need them, but not many lawyers actually realize that. So what is there anything that inspires you, or it's just your rational understanding that money is not it? Lawyers also defend human rights.
Well, the reason I'm much into human rights is because I've experienced sad moments. My brother Kato has been in a basement and he was missing for about 6 or 7 days. That is when we had just finished our LDC. So they abducted Kato, Norman Tumusiime and the group.
Which year was that?
2021, 22. Yeah, 2022.
And that's at that time I think they were abducting most of the NUP.
No, they abducted the group of about 6 or 7 people who work with the alternative digital online platform.
What had they? What was the issue? What did
that time, Norman had planned to launch a book.
Not Answering the Mustard Seed?
No, not
another
that.
One.
I think that was the Komanyoko politics. Well, in that book, he was talking about how the politics of Uganda have changed into totally different thing. Komanyoko is an abuse in our...
As to say the politics is really disorganized.
Stupid politics in belief, but he translated it into a Nyambure word.
Yes.
So he was planning to launch it. By that time, Kato was working with them directly. For me, I was in the law firm that was doing totally commercial law.
Yeah.
So they abducted them from the office. They took everything they own. They were at the Chideka SIU for about 6 days. We got to know them on like the 4th day. So the people are missing. We have moved to every police. We can't see them. And on the 4th or 5th day, that's when they call through a friend. There are always those friends who want to. So they call and tell us we are at Chideka. So we went there. The guys told us things. They said, for you are human rights. You are lawyers, okay. Here we are human left, bro. Just chill. Chill, we are human left. You can do your human rights there. And when you come here, for us, we are a different thing. So that was when we were just starting our practice. And inside me, I asked myself, if they can do such things to a lawyer like Kato, what about the farmer in the village locally there who doesn't even know what it means? So I think by the end of 2022, that's when I shifted from that law firm because it was doing commercial things and everything. But because of the experience I went through, searching for someone for 6 days and you don't know where they are, I said, you see, I need money, but I need to also do something to help many, like the Katos and the Normans at that time. So that shifted me much into human rights work. But I also do general legal practice.
So for you, I am aware, and you may not want to talk about it. You can tell us what you're comfortable with, but you have also been a victim of the basement. For those who are watching, the basement is a certain place most of us have not been. Don't know how it looks like, apart from some pictures. But it's a safe house where people are oftentimes disappeared, and that's where they are kept, as opposed to being in designated prison or police cells. What happened to you? For you, not what happened to you. We don't want to talk about that. But for you, why were you taken?
Well, the basement is just a word that is used by people to describe, but that is a place near hell. If you know hell, then when you are taken there, you are almost in the hell. The issue with me is that I had visited Bobi Wine's home, Honorable Kyagulanyi's home, a few days back, and we met Babi, who's the wife. At that day, she actually told us they had got some food, and she served us with some juice. So a few days after, she was attacked and beaten, and so we went there.
Post-election,
yes,
which is earlier this year.
Yeah. So we went there again. This time we had even the NUP leaders, the lawyers and NUP leaders. So went there. That was 16th February. So we went there to see what was there after the beating and the attack and the funny photos that were shared on X. So when we reached there, they had targeted me, and I was brutally arrested at Magede. The questions they were asking me was, why are you here? Do you think this is court? Do you think? So they bet me.
So of the people who had gone, including the party leaders, they specifically singled you out.
Yes, because I had been at
the
home earlier, and I came back. So after them beating me, and now they had me into their system now.
So they beat you during the arrest?
Yeah, brutally. So now they start asking me, so is it you that the Bobi Wine sends to bring messages and take messages from home? Two, what are you interested in? For us, we don't sleep. We are defending you guys. You are here just trying to defend the Bobi Wine in Uganda.
So you didn't.
What do you think about?
So when they asked you those things, they already knew, and you told them you are a lawyer, and
they knew everything. Even they knew where I stay. They had provided me. Even they knew my father. They knew my mother. They knew everything about me. So they were asking me things. So they asked me, where do you stay? I told them a different place.
They said no.
Now those were slaps. Like, bro, when did you shift from here?
Because they knew where you stay.
When did you shift from here? That was their focus, because they knew. They said, actually, I wanted to come for you, but it is good you brought yourself. So that's the strange thing. But the biggest accusation, or the biggest hate they had against me is, I'm a Mnyankore from Ntungamo, by the way. You know Ntungamo,
yes,
regardless to what the family and is. And now I'm here defending Bobi Wine in Uganda.
So at no point did they accuse you of any stipulated crime that is in the penal code? They just say,
no, for me,
why are you interfering in all this?
Yeah, for me, by the way, I am so keen. I have not done any crime.
No, I mean, it's possible for them to be misled by false intelligence to say maybe you're the one who is aiding or creating violence. They never said you've committed this crime. No. They just asked you, why are you showing up?
By the way, the offense I have, even up to now, is just I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer from Ntungamo, and I'm defending Kyagulanyi in Uganda. So I'm against their will. And I was lucky I didn't spend time with them. I later got a police bond. But didn't know the offense they are charging me with. Up to now, I'm still on a police bond for being a common nuisance. I don't know when a lawyer became a common nuisance for just coming up to see his client, but that is the offense I still hold. Any day you can see me going to prison because...
So what I'm getting from you is to be disappeared or arrested or abducted, they don't do it on the basis of you are a potential criminal or there's any reason. It is to say, it could be just that you are a lawyer and you're not supposed to help or aid Bobi Wine legally. And that's the reason why you could be picked.
Yeah, that's the reason. And they were asking me, where is he hiding? How do you talk to him? They had my phones for about 2 weeks. I think they expected Bobi Wine would call me. I don't know what they thought about, but the offense I had, the offense I have even now, because I'm not yet a free man, is that Uncle from Ntungamo tried to help Uganda to challenge the government.
That was the constant issue.
Because they changed now from their Uganda English, and now they talk to me in Nyankole. So I speak in Nyankole one-on-one. Hati we. Nturarata byamire ntukuyamba ngutuguma musinze ati wonohoreza abaganda basuru. Like,
yes.
That was so hurting. Then they said, do you know we can kill you even now? And the country will move on. At that point, I had nothing to reply. I said, you can do what you want because... yeah, so that's how challenging it was.
You were there for...
It left... I was with those guys for about 4 hours. They were making calls here and there. I think they wanted a next order for where I would be dumped. Maybe because of the God I believe in and I pray. I was lucky. I saw about 30 policemen coming later to pick me up, and that's how I ended up in a police cell.
So this interrogation was happening in the drone, or they took you?
No, I was in, they call it the Kavangari. So they put me inside their Kavangari van, those police trucks. And they forced me to eat about, I don't know how much tear gas I ate. So they were laughing at me. How does it taste? Is it now okay? Oh, we give you this flavor. Like they can ask you flavors of food or what. So they were forcing me to eat tear gas and asking me how it tastes. Can you just imagine?
Like they would open the can?
Yeah.
And
put it in my mouth.
Put the tear gas in your mouth?
And they tell me, how does that one taste? Oh, we give you a yellow one. Oh, we give you a green one. You know, of late, I learned that they made different colors of tear gas. I don't know what they are for.
I've seen different colors.
So they were putting it to me and asking me.
They put in the mouth and open?
They opened my mouth by force, and instead of opening the can and pressing it, they are pressing it in my mouth. Then they ask, how does that one taste? Oh, we give you the blue one. Hey, Kumbe, impose you are a lawyer for Bobi Wine. Let us give you a red one. How does that one taste? I reached police. I was almost fainting. There's a good policeman, I told, but you see, before you do anything, please help me buy me water because I don't have my money. At that point, they had taken my phones, they had taken my wallet and my card holder. The other bad thing was me being called Tumusiime Kakuru. They bet me to confirm whether I have an English name. I told them, bro, I'm Kakuru Tumusiime. They said, were I not baptized? They said I was. Which name did they give you then? I said, those are my names. So that's how they picked up my card holder. They found my national ID with Kakuru Tumusiime. They found my Uganda Law Society ID with Kakuru Tumusiime. And everything of mine. So that's how they believed I don't have an English name. So that was also an offense.
But if they had already done investigations, maybe they just thought you had disguised those.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know, it would of course, there is a lot of wrong already with the manner of arrest, with the disregard for procedures and whatnot. But you would assume maybe there would be, based on some intelligence that is incriminating, as opposed to just saying this person ought not to do this. You get? But let's talk a bit about Sam Mugumya's case. Of recent, there's a video which was on social media, which showed his current state. I think not just that video. I think we've seen different people who have come out of, I think they said SFC Kasenyi by, I think the Kenyans. The two Kenyans.
Bob Njagi and
Bob Njagi. I think there's also a recent video I saw of someone at NUP press conference who said the same. I think they were just confirming what we saw in that video. So you're part of Sam's lawyers. You could tell us how far. Tell us from his arrest, what is known, and how far his case has gone. If he was charged, and what are the offences?
Well, I think any one of us should be worried about the situation for Sam, not because you know Sam, but just because what he's going through is at the worst. Sam was abducted on the 26th of August, 2025, from Barala in a hotel. The people who abducted him were military people in military uniforms with guns, and some in a civilian clothes, but also with guns. So we went to court as his lawyers. For us, we don't do courts for money. We do it for humanity. Imagine it is your brother. Imagine it is your father. Imagine it is your uncle. So we went to court, and Agora reached out to us because we have done more than 50 habeas applications from last year to this year. So those are just 2 years. So
within 2 years, you've made 50?
More than 50.
More than 50
because I can't count. For people who get abducted and go missing. So Agora has been part of our law firm because they know us. They just reach out to us, Chiz and Mugisha advocates, please, someone is missing. What can we do? Our role is to just put on suits and go to court. That's what we did. So we went to court and filed an application for habeas corpus for Sam Mugumya. The reasons were why we knew that policemen and military men had abducted him. So habeas corpus is normally, maybe for those non-lawyers, is that we go to court and request court to produce someone dead or alive. If he's dead, produce the body, we go and the family can bury. If he's alive, produce him and take him to court. But as you have already seen, the military and the police have always, and the Attorney General have always said they don't have those people in their custody. So because we had clear evidence, the court gave us a writ of habeas corpus. They said yes, the state and government, that is an order that please produce this body, dead or alive, because we have proved everything to show that it's you who had him. It's you who have him, so produce him. So the court gave us that order to produce Sam, dead or alive, within 7 days. After that, there is what we call a return to a writ of habeas corpus. That is what the military or the Attorney General should do. Reply, confirming whether they have the person where he is and the state. So what they did was that no, for us we don't have that man in any of our custodies. That was their return. And the bad thing is that even the minister had said, Minister Muhozi had said that Sam is fond of disappearing. So they tried to play around it. So the court said, now, the military and the Attorney General are saying they don't have Sam. So what do we do? Maybe go back, do further research or investigate or do anything. If you find fresh information, come and tell us. Until of recent when we saw that video. Until of recent when we had people at the NUP, even this gentleman, Wangomani, said he was with Sam physically. It's unfortunate for Wangomani that also him, after the abduction and stuff, is now before a general court martial.
For those who don't know, Wangomani is the relative to Tafide.
Yeah, to General Tafide. But he was hijacked into a court martial and now he's in prison in Ruzira. After getting new information, we have gone back to court. And I believe now the court will be more than serious to issue orders against the military, because now we saw Sam in a state he is. I don't think any person who has a family or who wishes to have a family should see any of their persons in such a state like Sam. I don't. Maybe if they are not humans. But also, the people holding Sam at this rate, at this moment, should think about what can happen if they are the ones in that state. What we need is not to blame them, but what we need is to see Sam out, and we see how we can manage him. Yeah.
But I'm also, I don't know, I'm also wondering, can with all the testimonies and the video and the evidence, I don't know if it's still possible for them to deny that they have him. Of course, sometimes we underestimate, but I think there is clear evidence to say they have him and they ought to produce him. I think I also saw Agatha's tweet. She was saying these people, they said the SFC people are calling her and asking how she got the video and all that. So they know that the public knows now that they have him. I think the correct thing to do at this rate is just produce him, and if there are any charges, he can be produced in court and discharged as the law stipulates.
Yeah.
I don't know, as a lawyer, it's not resigning, but it's possible for the state, for example, for the court to order again and say, produce him, and the military doesn't. I think that the law has really been weakened. Yeah,
that's the true position now. Actually, it is almost no law here in Uganda, because a writ of habeas corpus was meant for a reason and a purpose. And someone has missed, so please produce him. And in the early days, it was an immediate relief. That Robert has been missing for 1 day, and he was taken by either military or police. Please produce him. So that application would be even filed in the morning and heard in the afternoon. Because it was a general relief and an immediate one. But now you even file a habeas corpus application.
And says they won't give a ruling.
No, even fixing it takes like a day or 3 days to fix. And getting a date. Imagine giving it to a judge will take days. Getting a date will take days. And when you appear in court with everything like evidence, the judge will say, I'll give you a ruling in 3 days or 7 days.
For habeas corpus application.
That is an issue of the purpose of the habeas corpus.
So let's not just talk about the law, and for the sake of discourse, Agora podcast is that this writ of habeas corpus, the right, it's not just a function of law. I think it has to do with our own history as a country.
Yeah.
You know, of course, every judge, every lawyer has studied constitutional history, but I want to say that the people in charge of government, some of this lived through our history as a country, and these occurrences, you know, it's unfortunate that the same people who ought to have learned from the history and why this right is basically important would, after all these years, be the same people who are violating that right. So sometimes I think, away from, you know, public and victims, what does that mean for their own efforts? Let's say they fought, or they have run these many years trying to, you know, run away from our history. You know how our political leaders talk about Amin and talk about, could even be the Obote, you know, there's the expert Matovu and all this history.
Yeah.
I mean, was all that in vain? Doesn't this seem important to them? I know what the law says, and away from that, I just want us to talk about our country.
You see, it is so hurting to find ourselves in such a situation as Uganda. The 1995 Constitution was made for a purpose. And the preamble or the introduction, for maybe the people who may not understand those small legal terms, the introduction to our constitution or the preamble says, we the people, considering the tyranny that we have gone through in the past, considering everything.
Recording our...
Yeah, recording. So they were, first of all, remembering the bad times we passed through as Uganda. And now that we have come up with a constitution, the purpose maybe to me by that time was to clear away all the bad history and we come back to a starting page, which was 1995. But 1995 to date, I think it's about 30 plus years. Everything that the people had recorded then to be bad and which they wished not to happen again are more than what we had in history. I read some book called The Teeth May Smile, but the Heart Can Never Forget. Robert who? Is some, but you know that book. In that book, I read about someone who went missing. He was called Lachi from Mbarara. I remember even in some school in Buchaga has been named after him after years.
I know Buchaga.
The guy went missing by the Amin soldiers. Now, every day you wake up on the internet, you find someone is missing. There are people that have missed since 2020 to date. The Prime Minister would come up and say, we have Chibarama. After 5 years, he comes. When they ask him, he said, for me, he meant a different Chibarama. And she's a Prime Minister, the leader of government business. The CDF or the commander of the EPDF is saying, he's learning Runyankore. I don't know what Runyankore means. Whether it is now a torturing language.
Don't overthink it. Runyankore is Runyankore.
Yes, I'm a Munyankore myself.
I know, but I know when he says that. But you see. And
now we see they take Elias Lukwago and they say, ongea Kiswahili. I have hated Kiswahili. I don't even speak a word in Kiswahili and I don't want to. Do you know why? During those early years of us, like any thief, any bad-hearted person was speaking Kiswahili. So for me, I grew up knowing Kiswahili is for bad people. That's why I don't even want to learn a word in Kiswahili. Now, I think I also need to change my name from Runyankore name because that is not what Runyankore means. Bro, Runyankore doesn't mean you abuse. Runyankore doesn't mean you torture. Runyankore doesn't mean anything bad.
You see, this is what I'm asking you, Kakuru. At some point, I have seen that I saw it by Kagwanjala who was talking to a judicial officer and asking why they are complacent. And this judicial officer quoted that common, that in the face of the gun, the law is silent. Which ought not to be. But I think where we have reached, of course you can condemn the judicial officer for not owning up his own role in extending the abuse.
Yeah.
But you would know that where we have reached, the gun has sort of overpowered the law. And that's why when you're arrested or abducted, they tell you for your human rights as we are human left. I think it's to say that we don't care about the rights and the law. For us, we do what we want. So it means that, law is a function of the current politics. What I want to ask you, because you talk about how this was saying, why are you? I just want to, and I always ask this question to people who I host, especially. My question is, what is your understand? Your not psychoanalysis, but when you interrogate their psyche, what is it that is why do they do what they do? And they could be wrong, but what's your interpretation of why they do what they do?
I wouldn't want to.
Okay, let me give you mine. My understanding, away from, because there's politics, I think there is still this thinking of conflating tribe with state to say that this is our thing. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's to conflate the two. It is to say that because we fought and we are in charge of the state, this is our thing, and we're entitled to it, and that when you challenge power, it's not just difference in ideas and politics and disagreement. It is as if you're attacking what is rightfully theirs. Like, like property rights. It's like when I come to say this is my land, you're saying no, this is my land, and we have to fight. I think there is still an understanding of power as if it is property rights. It's ours, and if you're going to challenge us, even if you're democratically, and you become a formidable threat, then you're not seen as it's not seen as a democratic contest. It is, you're taking away what is rightfully mine, and I need to do everything possible, which includes fighting, even if that fighting is extrajudicial, is against the law. That's my understanding. And
well, your understanding is very okay, and I also subscribe to that view that these people are no longer about anything but about themselves. That we fought, we are in government, so anyone who thinks negative about their government is now an enemy. For example, you look at something like NUP. I will give an example of the 9 people who have just got amnesty. It is, well, up to now it has not sunk in my head very well to find that someone supporting National Unity Platform is arrested, kept in prison for 6 years, and the only option is an amnesty certificate. An amnesty certificate is more dangerous than anything we can think of. I'm happy they are out, but what I'm not happy about is how they got out. The amnesty is a certificate they give you that now, Roel, you have confirmed that you have been in warfare against the government. You have been a rebel. Like you are ADF, you are Road Resistance Army, you are Alice Rakwena, you are those rebel groups that are armed against the government. That you come and surrender, you say, no, for me I've been against you, I've been a rebel. But now I accept and I apologize. Please forgive me.
Which was it? Which was that amnesty?
It is, of course, the government.
Oh, it's like the country saying, so
like where you say, I've been against you, I've been fighting you,
I've been killing
now I accept. So you give him a pardon. You forgive him. You don't convict, but you forgive because he has accepted the bad things he has been doing against your country. So they give you an amnesty certificate.
So in the sense you have been an enemy of the state and you have accepted.
No, you have been a rebel.
Yes.
Not just a rebel in words, but with guns, fighting the state. So you accept that you are sorry for doing that. Now the government says, okay, since you have accepted, we forgive you. The Amnesty Act provides for even some support. That you have been an enemy in the bush, they need to support you with some things so that you start life as a Ugandan, and you don't. But the bad thing is, if you have been given an amnesty certificate, you go back and do the same thing, or they arrest you again for the same thing, you cannot qualify for amnesty again. So it is a one-time offer. The bad thing is that these guys, the 9, have not given up on National Unity Platform. Actually, I saw many of them going back there for interviews and what. Remember, they were arrested in political rallies. They are still now in NUP, and they have come and started from where they stopped with their certificates of amnesty. It means if the government still feels annoyed and arrests them again, because already they have admitted they were rebels. In my view, I don't think they were, because I have not had an armed rebel group of late in Uganda. The Amnesty Act was meant for, in 2001, that's when it came up, because you remember the insurgencies in northern Uganda. So it was meant for that purpose, just to rehabilitate people and bring them back to board. Now, these poor Kampala boys have been labeled the same.
Have been subjected to the same.
Now, because they are still in NUP, they can again be arrested and they won't gain anything from amnesty. Already they have admitted they were rebels, which I don't believe they were.
But I think what we are looking at really is not a matter of law. It's politics. What I seem not to get is there a substantive political threat that would warrant our state to act this extra? I don't know if you're getting it. Yeah, maybe we will not answer it, but what I'm saying, even if it was just it was a political issue, is that you would want that the force or the abuse, is it commensurate to an existential threat to their grip on power? I'm not saying they ought to do whatever they are doing and they're justified, they can break the law. I'm just saying that even while discussing the politics at its extreme state, is there an imminent threat that would make them go all the way to do that? But
with threat?
That's what I'm also wondering.
I'm asking myself, if you have 71% from an election, the other one has 20% and you are threatened, then it means there's something that doesn't add up.
So me, what I'm asking is, the truth is, the election was rigged. And I'm saying, even when they rigged, they managed to use the forces to stamp or to deny opposition capacity to take power.
Fear.
Exactly. And I think at some point, I don't know whether successfully or not, but they managed to consolidate whatever outcome they preferred. So my question is, if you already have that kind of capacity, why then do you have to? And I'm just saying there's something I don't know. It doesn't.
You see, in our local language, you have a saying. I don't know whether I can use it to explain. Ngu ekifuba kikakyera omukasheshe amazima ga kitangaye. Like a lie, woke up very early in the morning to go to someone, but the truth arrived before the lie. What I'm saying in that proverb dialect is, you can fool people for some time, but not every time. I'm saying that they did what they did and they say they have 71%. But they are scared of me, Kakuru, or you, Roel, that can just say, no, something is not okay. So they will keep you in a prison or in a basement because you are saying something is not okay. But they have 71%. That is about 8 or so million. If they were honest with what they are or what they believe they did, why should they fear us?
Sometimes I don't think I'm the one who doesn't understand things, because I think, like, I've seen Machete. I think he has not become over like a hero of sorts, which he was. I don't think he was like that. So I feel like even those they come up with more capital. I also think that even keeping them there, like
because I want to give you something. I want to give you something small. When I was abducted and beaten, the accusations were, why can't you leave Bobi Wine and NUP? But do you know, after leaving that basement and torture stuff, I have been more than committed. I've been committed more than I was before that. Because now I will not fear what you beat me, because I know what you beat me for. I know how you can beat me because I have physical injuries that I have never healed. But what they do as a mistake, I think they should change their ways. You can't beat me and leave me to change. If they want us to change, they shouldn't first beat us. They should first take us through discussions, then we agree on
and reason and say this is like this is and this.
But from what they beat me and what I felt and what they are accusing me for, I have doubled my efforts. I can't even sell my own property to go to court for national unity platform, because I need to show them that it's not because you bet me that I'm fearing to do what I do. I do what I do because I believe it is the best.
I don't remember who said they were fearing being abducted. So they were like on a run, because I think someone had tipped them off something like that. But the moment they were arrested like this and put in a drone, they say they got this sense of what I was fearing has
now.
Finally arrived.
Yeah. So what else do I fear? Now can I fear being taken to the basement? I know what the basement looks like.
I think at some point the basement has become also like a badge of honor. Like someone who has left the basement seems to say,
you can't remain the same.
It seems to be like a patriot. Not like it is to say that, like a badge of honor is to say, like how people you go to the military and you come out, with your badge, yeah. Or you go to people went to Iraq, or people go to war and come, like World War, and they come successful. So I think there's also like this thing of I've been there and I endured, I survived.
There's nothing new you tell me that I have not seen. Like what would they tell me? Because I was there for about 4 or 5 hours doing every bad and good. There are things I can't speak about that I still run in my head every day, what I went through. Because you're a man, imagine bringing like 3 or 4 ladies and they tell you to remove your pants. By force, because they are not just requesting you.
And they can do anything, yes.
I was lucky I didn't spend much time, but those were bad things. I don't believe any Ugandan should expect or should be willing to go through. Yeah, but that is life. And for me, that was the motivation. Because now I know they knew my home earlier than myself. I know they know how I move. I know they know my office. They know everything. So now what else should make me scared? It means they can find me where they want.
Yeah. So if they want you, they will get you. So
of late, today I have not carried my rosary. I'm not a Catholic. But that rosary was given to me by Dr. Lina Zedriga to always protect me. So for me, I wake up and I pray, I go to work. What happens later, omutonzi wafe yasalawo. If I come back home, I thank God. If I don't, it is okay. That's God's plan. Like, that's where I am as a man. Like, you wake up and leave home, you don't know whether you'll come or you'll not. Yeah. But you keep moving and you expect things will change at the moment.
Interesting. Yeah. I think it's hanging on hope, because I still have this thing of, like at the back of my mind, I also don't know if it's because of background, that the lives that were lost, for example, in the NRA Bush War, it couldn't have been in vain. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, it's, and I'm not asking this because you're a lawyer, but it's one of the things I ask myself. we cannot have run full circle and end up exactly where they were.
Now we are in the worst moment.
Yeah.
Because for me now, I was not there during Amina and Obote, but what I see now is beyond.
But I know you grew up in Ntungamo.
Yes.
What I'm saying is, of course, the people of Ruwero know more, but at least you know a relative or someone who actually sacrificed.
Yeah.
And so did even the people in the current state. My issue is it cannot all have been for a narrow interest.
I think we should all be on our knees praying for the people that lost their lives, struggling to have a change. The other years, you could just not get missing because you have talked. You could have done maybe something beyond. But now, like Timothy Karyejida, just giving his analysis of what he thinks of the government, he's taken to a basement for 3-4 days. They bring him to court. They charge him for broadcasting without a license. Honestly, I've been with Timothy on a physical for more than... I've not seen him hold a smartphone, that is to be honest. So I don't know where he broadcasts from. His case is still going on. No evidence. Okay. There's a person like me, Kakuru, myself. Because people see me and see an opposition in me. Have you heard me contest for even LOC1? I'm not interested in their politics. For me, I do my role. And is a person who told me, an old man told me of recent. When some, there are those people who think they are old, maybe in their profession as lawyers, maybe they are old in age. Someone comes to me, says, I was with my dad at some function. Your son, you need to tell your son, he's getting beyond what he should be. Why is he everywhere? Then there is an old man who was also with us near. He said, keep quiet, you are talking quiet. Have you ever seen a doctor opening up a hospital in a community that is full of healthy people? Or it has to be a community that has sick people where he has to open an hospital. He's a lawyer. Where do the cases go? Oh, okay, who is accused of the two? The NRM or the opposition? So he has to build a hospital where there are sick people to treat. So he was shutting him in a little that no. You brand him opposition because he's representing opposition people. If the government had issues, he would be, maybe, he would be there. But now the issues are within the NUP, within the PFF, within all those parties. So I ran that thing in a different way because for me I would have responded totally differently. But the old man silenced him, and indeed, you cannot start a hospital in a community that is full of healthy people. But if you're a doctor, you have to start a hospital where there are sick people who need your services. So I can't say I'm a government person. I'm not. Especially the NRM, I'm not. But I'm not opposition because I don't belong to any political party. But what I need is to see Uganda moving in a different direction. I think
even for most people, really, it's not that they just don't want the bad things to happen. They just want a better life. They just want to be happy. Yeah. As we come to a conclusion, you could tell us about what next for Sam Mugumya, and maybe a bit about Besigye too.
I think I'll start with Sam Mugumya. Sam Mugumya is still missing and is still in a custody of those military guys. We filed an application, a fresh application with fresh evidence on Friday last week, which we expect would be fixed this week, and we determine it. This time I don't think the state will again say they don't have some, because we have overwhelming evidence. That is what we can do as lawyers. But you and the fellow Ugandans not need to sit to wait for the lawyers. For us, the lawyers, we can do our legal work. What about you? What about the other colleagues? You see, I told someone that for you think everything is okay, not until it comes to your door. Like when you wake up and maybe your son is the one abducted. That's when you can feel it is real. You shouldn't wait for that moment. If you hear someone like Sam Mugumya, I know many of the people might claim they are not politicians, but Sam is a human being beyond politics. Let anyone raise a voice in any way to call for Sam's release, because Sam needs to be getting care and support of his family at the rate he is. As lawyers do their work, please, Ugandans, you can do your work. For doctor, it is also another touching story. Because for me, I've known doctor way back. I'm not a politician, as I said, but I've known doctor for more than the years I've been alive. I've known doctor. So we normally discuss on a personal basis. But the situation he's in now should worry us more than it should have worried any person before. Doctor was in ICU after the collapse in court, when the Minister of Health is called Minister who? It is hard that Bariomus can just be mocking a sick person like that, especially from his area, Chigezi. Doctor is from Chigezi, like Bariomus. So Bariomus goes to visit the doctor uninvited, and a few hours later, doctor is abducted from his sick bed at Mulago and evacuated to Rosida. And because of the situation he's in, he was taken to the officers of prison clinic. That's where he is now.
Before you conclude, what don't we understand on Besigye's case? I don't know how to explain it. Because, for example, the people, they say the Virunjis who are supposed to be witnesses against him are accused similarly for forging evidence. It's just, okay, for me as an ordinary person, it doesn't make sense for me. But how does it make sense for prosecution?
You see, this whole case is just an add-up and a mess. The evidence they want to allege is real has taken them 2 years, even disclose. When the disclosure happened, now their own people who gave them the information are in prison for giving false information. After that, now we come to the real issues. Senior counsel, the leader of our legal team for doctor is Karua. She's arrested and deported, declared the person non grata. That first of all changes everything in Uganda. You know, we are under the East African community. I don't know whether that makes sense of you. This is a person who is contesting even in Kenya as a presidential candidate. Then you call her person on that she's of no use or importance to us as Uganda.
Then will come.
And tomorrow we wake up and say we are sending an EAC MP. I moved somehow to the Uganda Law Society that we should terminate our East African Law Society subscription as Ugandans. Because there is no reason I pay my $20 to to East African Law Society, and I can't be accepted there. That is of no reason. 2, Elias Lukwago. You know, as lawyers, we have what we call a fiduciary duty. Yes. Fiduciary duty, that you have a duty to your client. The client will be honest and tell you what they think is, so that you defend them knowing. As we conclude, Dr. Besigye has not lacked lawyers, and he has not lacked the capacity to support them. But the government has made it hard for the lawyers to even appear in court. The last person, or the last victim, is Aaron Chiza, who is my colleague and my partner at the law firm. Aaron Chiza is now facing a case of contempt of court. Contempt of court is because he said, no, the witness is not reliable. So they are saying he's discussing the case. Really? Yet the witness has not testified. Because for us as lawyers, we consider testimony after it has been admitted by the court, not what we hear or what we. But now he's on a run. As the lawyers, we have filed several applications for protection. Mr. Baguma, the justice, I call him justice or judge, because what else should I call him? Has not fixed them and has dismissed several of them without our appearance. That makes us worrying. If they think Besigye has a case, can't they allow the lawyers to come and then they present the valid evidence and they convict the doctor?
Yeah. What a final message to the viewers and to whoever is watching?
Of late, I have given up going to church because the pastors are beyond what we expected them to be. Apart from asking us for tithe and whatever, they have not helped us. Because, you see, if the pastors were waking up every day and preaching about the bad system in governance, I believe the ministers, the MPs, everyone who goes to the churches would hear that message.
But the bishop of the Church of Uganda said he's also a human being. But
yeah, he's a human being. So why should we pay him tithe and offerings anymore? Because we are human beings too. But that is being dishonest to us.
Of course.
You see, we don't want him to come and go to the street. But in every message, please send something to the oppressors that no, Uganda can move on in a different way. Please. Just that one can be enough.
I think what I get from you, and I think which is the truth, is that all of us love this country. There shouldn't be an attempt by certain individuals to think they love this country more than others, and that those who disagree with them disagree with the entire existence of the country. That if I'm a threat to your political interest doesn't mean I'm a threat to the country, and that the two shouldn't be conflated. That said, thank you guys for watching the Agora podcast. Please subscribe, but also, as Kakuru has said, continue to speak out and make sure that everyone is safe in this country, that we can enjoy it. That said, thank you for joining us on your birthday. We know that your program is...
I don't know how you planned to invite me on this day. This is a special day in my life. I'm now on the 3rd floor. Happy birthday to my brother Kato. Yeah, I know.
You guys...
And we appreciate the podcast for looking out of the millions. And the saying Kakuru should come. I know you didn't know it was my birthday until I said it.
Yes.
I appreciate you, and let everyone do what they can to see a Uganda that is better, because anyone wants to wake up and go home safe. If that has not happened, then we are not safe as a country. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you everyone. See you in the next episode. Peace and love.